a few nights ago because we had been, guess where does the best meatballs and mash. Well, I think they do, with the gravy and the Lincolnberry jam. IKEA, however you pronounce. Yes, James, you're quite correct. Yes, the meatballs. Actually, I had the vegetable ones, but they were very nice, really good. I love the sound of meatballs and mash. Are you having any sauce with it? Or any of the red currant jelly, anything like that? Anybody else sharing what they are having for dinner? Gluten. Oh, okay. Do you make your own in that case? Gluten appears in so many. Gravy. Oh, perfect. It sounds perfect. And carrying on with the wood theme, I try to find as many little objects made from wood as we're talking about trees. So I've got this tiny little spoon. Tiny. It would be quite handy for sticking in your bag for an emergency spoon, but actually it came from the cocktail bar where a lot of my little accessories come from. Not that I have that many cocktails, but when I do, I like to save the little objects. Pre-made ones that are gluten-free. Well, that's a very nice, simple, quick, but very tasty dinner. So, my little tiny wooden spoon. But it is nice and clicky. I changed the time for this live because I'm trying to suss out the best time to do it, and I changed the day because I've been away in the camper van. So I thought I would try and snag at the time to see if it's more suitable for everyone, and I love the fact that you're having dinner while you listen to me. I love that. So, is everyone happy with if I talk about oak trees? I picked it because it's my favourite, but if anybody has a particular favourite, I will read about that one instead. And what else? Everyone's very quiet this evening. Everyone's very quiet. I raided my grandson's box of toys looking for wooden objects, and he loves these little building blocks, which do tend to get everywhere. Hard to get the time right. 10 p.m. Oh, James, I can't remember. Wait, are you in the US then? Obviously. Yeah, I guess 10 p.m. here is 5 p.m. on the East Coast. Yeah, I guess I need to do like a midnight one here. What time would that be? Where are you? Willow trees. Okay, we'll see. Oh, James, you're in Liverpool. Okay. You're on my time then. Oh, I've just noticed this wooden block matches my nails, look. That was entirely coincidental. Is anybody interested, by the way, purely aside from my wooden tree theme? Anybody like railways? Because I am putting together a ASMR video at the moment on, if anybody has heard of it, Railway, the guidebook, the Bradshaw's handbook, which, if anybody has watched the TV programme with Michael Portillo, Great British and Continental Railway Journeys, using the Bradshaw's Guide 1863, Victorian Guide of Trains and Stations. He did well, not Bradshaw, but Portillo has done an American one as well, but using a different guide. James has whispered, I might try the phone book. Genuinely, I think reading something like that is so mind-numbing. It helps you sleep, because if I read something that's mildly interesting, you tend to concentrate on the story, which is why I try and find things that are not that interesting and rambles. So I am putting together a video talking about the stations near me as they were in 1863, and it's really interesting because near where I live in South Wales in 1863, we in this area was massively industrial coal mine, limestone and lime quarrying, so copper, tin smelting, and so this was describing South Wales as a very, very heavy industry, which it isn't anymore, of course, but it's really interesting to see how things have changed. But the same railway stations are talked about in here. Robin, you take the train to work, school, questions how stuff works. Yes, we'll look out for my information. Another book we keep in the camper van, because if ever we stay near a railway, I always like to pick the guide up. It covers the whole of the UK. It's actually four of the original guidebooks in one edition. And if anyone is interested enough in the book, you can buy it on Amazon or other bookshops, I guess. So let me see. I'm going to read the back of this book first. It is called Tree Wisdom, the Definitive Guidebook, and it's written by Jacqueline Memory Patterson, and the little subtext is the myth, folklore, and healing power of trees. And I love the picture on the front. And I shall read the back. It might be more interesting than a phone book, but I hope you'll find it relaxing famous trees of Britain through the changing seasons of the year. Jacqueline Memory Patterson draws on years of extensive research to tell the story of each individual species of tree. This beautifully illustrated work covers every aspect of tree wisdom, including comprehensive physical descriptions and botanical, can't get my words out, botanical illustrations, the legends and myths surrounding each tree, its healing powers both for ourselves and the planet, its artistic and practical uses, its specific inspirational qualities, and its magical properties, and how each features in the ancient tree alphabet. So, the author, Jacqueline Memory Patterson, has lived most of her life in the West Country, developing her unique understanding through an intense relationship with nature. So, as I say, I have marked with my feather a little bit on oak trees, but I will look up willows for a robin or any other requests for any favourite trees. So my bookmark for this evening is a feather. It's not a, I didn't find this in the wild. This again came from the cocktail bar and it was in a cocktail. Katie Buzz, you are most welcome and you are not late. You can join anytime. And in fact, if you miss it completely, this will be up as a video. So yeah, here's my special bookmark. And here we go with the oak tree. And just if you're just joining, I am talking. It's about trees again. I know we did that last week. This book is called Tree Wisdom, and I bought it in Glastonbury. So as you can imagine, it is quite mystical and tells us all about the botanical information about trees, but also the magical properties. So we're going to start with the oak. And I do have my own personal favourite oak tree, and it is in some woodlands near me, and it is enormous. It must be several hundred years old, and it is gorgeous. And whenever I'm around that tree, I feel quite safe because around the base it's got like a ring of where only grass grows. And oh yes, give the video a thumbs up. Thanks for reminding me, James. It does help, thank you. Around the tree it's got like a ring of plants that only grow away from the roots. It looks so magical, really does. Right, here we go, the oak tree. And this is the botanical information, everyone. The oak is a tree of great longevity and imposing stature, taking some 60 years to produce its first full crop of catkins. Imagine that, 60 years, and gaining heights of 110 feet or 33 meters, and girths of between 30 and 40 feet, which is 9 to 12 meters. This is why they're so impressive. There are over 400 not sure if I'm pronouncing them correctly, but it is found in fields, hedgerows and woods, along with the sessile oak. It is native to Britain. This is the little illustration, although I'm sure you're all familiar with the oak, the mighty oak. The sessile oak is most prolific in the forests of central France and the west of England. Because its leaves are bigger and on a longer stalk than the English oak, it produces a better canopy. The holm oak is common to the south of England and to Europe. Holm is believed to be Anglo-Saxon for holly. The tree adds to this association by its fondness of growing near holly, as well as by having holly-shaped leaves. The turkey oak is by far the most prolific of the species introduced to Britain. It is a tall tree, and when fully grown, takes 2 years to develop its acorns, which grow in very mossy caps. While it is beautiful, the turkey oak attracts the gall wasp. Well, I don't like the sound of that. I'm not fond of wasps. Of all the homes built by insects, an oak tree, the most harmful are the galls produced by gall wasps. I'm just going to read the message here. Katie Puss. Look at the trees. Fascinating, I agree. Old yew trees, absolutely. In churchyards. The redwoods, yes. I have been the last few days camping in Brecon, and all along the Brecon Canal there are these huge redwood trees, and they are incredible. And that is exactly why I like them, because I imagine what they have seen over the years. Yeah, we're reading about these gall wasps now. These galls or oak apples can be seen on the bare branches of the trees in winter, looking like hard brown balls at the end of the twigs. Very often they have a small hole in them where the grub turned wasp has emerged and flown away. Galls are formed by the tree's defense mechanism. For when insects lay eggs in the bark of a tree, they cause great disruption to the tree's flow of sap, forcing it to go on the defensive and produce a growth, rather than doing its proper work of feeding the tree. How aren't they amazing? Tara, don't worry, you've barely missed anything. We are reading this book I talked about last week, because we talked about trees. I'm keeping the theme going. This is Tree Wisdom, and it's about the actual facts about trees, but also magical properties of trees. And I've chosen the oak because it's my favourite. So the poor old tree gets attacked by these nasty wasps, but insects also attract birds such as nuthatches, flycatchers, warblers and woodpeckers to the oak tree, and its acorns provide food which attracts many other forms of wildlife. The tree's shade also encourages the growth of wildflowers like bluebells, primroses, wood anemones, foxgloves and wood sorrel. An oak may host the mistletoe and law, but this is rare. The oak may live, listen to this, it's amazing, to well over 700 years. 700 years. Oh, wow. Outliving all except the yew, which is the one you mentioned, the Katie Bus. Yeah, the yew is, I think, the longest living tree. Even at death, it retains its dignity, for its bare, twisted branches rise high into the sky like a crown of antlers. England was once covered in oak forests. In the time of Henry VIII's reign, 1/3 of the land was still oak, but this has gradually declined over the centuries, mainly by man's hand. However, with its strength to endure winter gales, the oak has a noble dignity and is still known with affection as the king of the forest. Well, a little bit about the bark. Oaks are broad, sturdy trees with grey-brown, distinctly gnarled and extremely furrowed barks. Leaves in late April or early May, the soft, tender tufts of new oak leaves appear. They are feathery, pale green and short-stalked. By June they have become dark green and thick, with a strong centre vein and deeply lobed edges. This gives them a distinctly crinkled appearance. All through summer, the leaves do their appointed work of breathing, perspiring and light perceiving, by which they aid the tree's nutriment. An old country observation states that the last leaf never falls off the oak, and this may refer to the fact that the oak, like the elder, has the capacity to relieve itself if its young leaves are caught by frost or destroyed by insects. Now, what else can I read? The acorns, the fruit of the trees. By autumn, the acorns have ripened, and they change in colour from green to pale yellow to dark olive brown. And now the oak drops its fruit. The acorns fall and cover the ground and become food to many animals such as pigs, deer, squirrels, dormice, and even man when times are hard. I didn't know you could eat an acorn. I am not very good with knowing what you can eat. I need to do a foraging course. Acorns hold a great reserve of food for a young tree, and once this store is used up, it will be strong enough to survive. The main enemy of young oak saplings are field mice, which relish eating them. And then we're moving on to custom and legend. There is a lot of information. I'm not going to read it all, but I will read out some headlines here. The oak hosts many different forms of life. It is called a garden and a country, and because of its warmth and friendliness to man, is regarded as an emblem of hospitality and strength. In the legends of many cultures, acorns are said to have been man's first Christians substituted marriage in church because of the all-encompassing power that oaks express. Ancients the world over regarded it as symbolic of the gods, believing they resided in the tree or were cradled in its shade. The oak is possibly the most widely revered of all trees. The earliest spirits of Greek mythology were oak tree spirits called dryads, and it was believed that oak was the first tree created by God, from which sprang the entire human race. Jason's legendary ship, the Argo, was built from the trees of a sacred oak grove, and the goddess Athena fitted an oracular beam into the ship's prow, cut from Zeus's oak at Dodona. Wow, okay, Jason and the Argonauts. So there's a lot of legend stuff I'm gonna skip over here because I want to come on to the magical things about the trees. Oh, something's just jumped out at me because it's about Wales. There have been a great many famous oaks in British legend. The wizard Merlin worked his enchantments in a grove of oaks and supposedly used the topmost branch of an oak tree as his wand. In the Welsh version of the story, Merlin was born at Carmarthen. The Welsh name for the town is Caerfyrddin, which means Merlin's fortress, and the words of an ancient spell still resound. When Merlin's oak shall tumble down, then shall fall Carmarthen down. Well, I visited Carmarthen last year, and it is all good there. I love Carmarthen. How are you all finding this? Are you interested in amazing trees? And I'm going to move on to the healing aspect because this is really interesting. The healing powers of oak. The oak tree has a wide range of qualities suitable for healing purposes. They also, glad you're enjoying it. They also aid the spirit and soul of the patient, especially when their vital forces have become strained and unbalanced. The oak gives form and structure to these forces. It is especially good as a tonic for adults and as a strengthener for growing children. Specific healings obtained from parts of the oak tree are as follows. The bark. Gypsies use oak bark as an astringent, antiseptic and tonic. It is stripped from the tree in April or May, dried in the sun, chopped and made into decoction. And it's got the recipe here if anyone is interested. This can be used as a gargle mouthwash for inflammation of the throat. It can also be used in hot baths for chilblains, frostbite, etc., or as hot compresses for hernias, inflamed glands and hemorrhoids. Well, I never knew that. If ground into a fine powder, oak bark can be taken like snuff to stop nosebleeds. It can also be sprinkled onto sheets to alleviate the discomfort of bed sores. Now, in all my nursing, I never used oak bark for bed sores. things about boiling up oak bark and drinking it, would you? It is interesting, I agree, Robin. Maybe we should be doing more of this and relying less on prescriptions. So this can be taken by the spoonful or watered down and drunk. So let's have a look. That's the bark leaves. Young oak leaf buds were prepared in distilled water and taken inwardly to assuage inflammations. Bruised oak leaves are used outwardly, being applied to wounds and hemorrhoids. Obviously the oak is very good for all sorts of hemorrhoid problems. And oak leaves also make a good tonic wine, and there is a recipe in here apparently for tonic wine. We'll all be off to the local woods now to harvest bits of the old oak tree. Okay, acorns. To carry an acorn was anciently believed to preserve youth. That's it. I'm off to get an acorn tomorrow. And give protection, luck, and a healthy life. Oak bark, leaves, and acorns make an astringent tonic due to their high tannin content. The astringent quality was used in old remedies for diarrhea, where acorns were powdered or grated and taken with water. Tie a yellow ribbon round the old. Yeah, indeed, I remember that song. A decoction of oak bark and acorns in milk was used as an antidote to poisoning from plants and bogus medicines. Okay, an analysis of an acorn published in the Lancet, which is a medical journal, stated the proportions of nourishment an acorn contains: 5.2% protein, 45% carbohydrate, and 6.3% water. This explains why acorns have always been prized as nourishing, body-building food for animals, and in earlier days for man himself. Acorns still breathe when off the tree, and if they are to be stored, a circulation of air is necessary. They can be used to make a rather bitter-tasting coffee, which possesses nutritive properties and aids poor digestion, colic, diarrhea, and dysentery. Magic. Oh, this sounds exciting. The ruling planet is Jupiter. Abilities: courage, strength, solid protection, door to mysteries, health, inner spiritual strength, and seasons: summer and autumn. Okay. In Druidic tradition, the oak is used magically at all major celebrations, for through its legendary associations with the sky and thunder gods, and with the goddesses of fire and fertility, it is closely aligned to the solar cycle. So much so that some would deem the sun its ruler rather than Jupiter. Throughout the vital solar cycle, the oak gods are invoked for their aid at the quarterly celebrations of solstices and equinoxes. At Imbolc, oak is used for its feminine qualities and its nurturing abilities. At the spring equinox, the oak is called upon to encourage the warmth of the sun for the healthy growth of young plants, animals, and children. And at this time, bark may be easily gathered from the oak in order to store for healing purposes. The belting ceremonies celebrate the fertility of the land and the people, and the oak is invoked then for its ancient, fertile character. At the summer solstice, when the sun is at its height in the heavens, the oak represents its strength and its powerful ability to ripen the harvests which will feed the people. Tara, you're loving it too, that's good. So yeah, it is interesting. This is the time of the sacred marriage between heaven and earth, when the power of the sun god impregnates the earth goddess with its future self. This is getting quite deep now. At the autumn equinox, the oak is ripe with acorns. Its rich harvest feeds the woodland animals as they prepare their larders for the coming cold of winter. So abundant are the species of life forms dependent upon oak that it is revered this time for its provision to life. By Samhain, the sun has declined in power, and the sun god is now believed to be entering the underworld. At this time, acorns represent the continuity of life through reproduction. Samhain was the Celtic New Year, and in order to see what was coming in the future year, oak apples were used in divination. Having followed the cycle of the year alongside the oak tree, let us look more closely at its fruit, the acorn. Acorns were used magically and for religious purposes, there is no doubt. What else have we got here? An acorn necklace can be made and worn during magical workings, meditations or celebrations. This goes on and on and on. Because the oak is so deep-rooted, it can aid the well-being of our feet, the point with which we contact the earth. Now that's interesting, because when I was putting my camp bed away this morning in my van, I dropped it, and it's made of metal, dropped on my foot, so my foot is bruised and cotton. It can be carried in a pocket and used to aid strength and balance, and as a talisman giving protections. See, my dog is scratching the door now. I think we've covered what's going on about old traditions, physical uses. Okay, so this is more practical stuff. You can use oak bark. It was known as tanner's bark, for it is used worldwide for tanning leather. It contains 15 to 20% tannin, and it can also be used for dyeing. An infusion of bark and copper is used by Scottish Highlanders to dye wool a purplish colour. An acid used in the making of ink is found in oak bark, and old oaks found in peat bogs with an iron content in the water have been surrounded by inky liquid caused by the acid's reaction with iron. Gardeners make a decoction of oak bark which adds warmth to the soil to encourage plants. Unfortunately, it is also known to encourage the growth of fungi, which may be harmful to some plants. The leaves have been used through many centuries to make good wine. Well, I didn't know that. Oak leaves. For a medium dry wine of good flavour, the leaves should be picked in late spring or early summer. For a fuller pet, what's okay do? Teddy wants to hear. Yeah, Teddy's my dog. She's obviously interested in oak trees. For a fuller flavour, they can be picked around autumn as they change colour. Only fresh-looking leaves should be used, and none which have been nibbled by insects. And I've got the recipe if anybody wants it, let me know. It involves the leaves, water, sugar and lemons. Wow, imagine making wine out of oak leaves. And the acorns were believed to have been one of man's first foods. I honestly did not know you could eat acorns. I would love to try that wine. I will send you the recipe, Robin. Yeah, it sounds too easy to be true, doesn't it? I will come back to that. The ancient Romans roasted acorns on embers and served them as a course at feasts, and they also made bread from them. At the end of the 7th century in Britain, special laws relating to pannage were issued. Land was measured and valued according to its swine feeding capacities, all of which is recorded in the Domesday Book. Acorns have a large proportion of carbohydrate and fat and have been used to good effect in the past for fattening up livestock. However, it is now realised that other vegetable matter should also be given to stop the acorn's binding effects. I'm guessing that is why it's so good for treating diarrhea. Yeah, anybody who's interested in the wine recipe, grab a pen. Here we go. To 1 gallon of leaves, which is 4.5 litres. What's Katie Puss in my River Cottage book? There are some interesting recipes with foraged beech leaves with gin. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? We think just of the supermarkets and not of all these natural things around. Yeah, to 4.5 litres of leaves, use 4 litres of water, 1.5 kilograms of sugar and 2 lemons. Wash the leaves, put them in a large basin and pour 2 litres of boiling water over them. Cover with a clean cloth and leave for 12 hours. Put the sugar in a large saucepan with the remaining 2 litres of water and bring to the boil, stirring until the sugar dissolves. Take off the heat and add the strained lemon juice. Strain the oak leaf infusion into a fermentation jar. Add the water, sugar and lemon mixture and some activated wine yeast according to the instructions on the packet, and shake well. Ferment, rack and bottle as other wines, and if you keep it for a year before use, you'll be rewarded with excellent flavour. I dare you, somebody go, please try the recipe for oak leaf wine. Imagine how cheap that would be. Did you write it down, Robin? Let me know and I'll add the recipe in the comments if anybody is serious I will, I don't know if I can add comments, I'm sure I can. Yeah, let me know in the comments and I will add it at the end. I'm sure I'll be able to do that somehow. Just gotta wait a year. You can always, of course, James, why didn't I think of that? The video will be out after this finishes, and you can, yeah, write it down then. Well, I am gonna sign out. It is really lovely. Got more people now. Willow, Robin, we will do the Willow next time. I am live. Is 8 o'clock a better time for everybody? I did 7 o'clock last week, and a few people were making dinner and busy, so I thought I'd do it later today. And also, is the day okay? I'm guessing the people who are not okay are not here. Yes, Dara, we are live on the other thing tomorrow. I'm apparently not allowed to say it, but yeah. I am on there at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Katie Puss. Interested in what? I've lost track of what I was saying. Shall I keep it to 8 o'clock then, do you think? Maybe. Because I do lives on the other thing. Mondays and Thursdays. So I can do Facebook on a Tuesday or a Wednesday, really. Robin, your schedules are regular. Exactly. You can always watch it afterwards. Dara, Wednesdays at 8 is good. Well, I'm going to stick to it for next week. I don't think I got anything else on. I'm not away. Thank you so much for everyone who's come along. And please, if you haven't already, well, you can mention it. Apparently, I can't. They don't like you cross-referencing, apparently. I don't know. You are allowed to say it, that's fine. Thank you so much for joining